Alright, y'all, I got a bit of a different setup now. I've been rearranging the vlog thing since I'm not intending to do any more home vlogs, and I wanted to show the heifer how easily even my old ass could switch things up, change things around, and show you how OBS can work for you if you want to do the work. But we all know Chantal's work allergic. And I know I'm far from the only person covering this, but I decided to do something different. Instead of giving the big binge baby Miss Rage her attention directly, I'm going to highlight somebody I've been watching for years now. I've been watching his Shape the Algorithm series. I've watched several of the videos he put in, because not all his videos is just expose locales. He's done amazing videos on people that he enjoys too, including the Cooking with Kay's son, who has like a comedy group. I enjoyed that. Mr. Snowflake has been a very fun and interesting and engaging content creator, and he doesn't need my ass popping him up. But I definitely wanted to both show you the trailer to the upcoming series that I know a lot of us who are in girl world, whether we're new, old, or completely invested in Chantal's fuck shit and other girls' fuck shit, we all could learn a thing or two if we wanted to do a docu-series on somebody just using their own words. But I want you to see this trailer, because the moment I seen it I got excited, and apparently the heifer got really mad, and that's coming up next as well. But I don't want this intro to be too long, so let me get this together for you, show you the amazing trailer that he's come up with for his series on Chantal, and just see what you think, because I think, as usual, she doesn't understand that you've put your life on here for 7 years. Good, mostly bad, and rarely in between. And now you're mad because you're getting the attention that you want, Miss Chronically Addicted to Attention. But I'm going to play the trailer, and I want you to see why so many of us are excited about this.
I'm from Cornwall, Ontario. I have one sister. We have the same mother. I'm close to her, and I have two half brothers. We have the same dad, and since I don't really see my dad a lot, I've actually never met these boys, which is kind of sad. She actually it was very taboo for her to be pregnant in high school at her age, 16, so she was in a lot of trouble with that. My mother and I were on our own, and she was a single teenage mom. She was 17 when she had me, and we moved away from the family home, from her mother and father. We were living with them for a while. She wanted to move out on her own and do it on her own, and my father was an alcoholic, so she left him and didn't let him around me for a long time until he sobered up.
Now, not to pause this too much, but I need you to understand something, that Chantal told a lot of lies already, and she put a lot of her business on the internet. She likes to weave tales, and she likes to throw her family under the bus when it's convenient for views, but then she walks it back or dirty deletes and acts like she didn't say it. Unfortunately for her, a lot of her stuff was well documented early on. Even before the mess that became her life in Canada, people started to realize that this chick does not keep what she puts on the internet up there. And she gets mad when the truth is exposed at her. But all we're doing, from reactors to documenters, is using your own words against you. Heifer.
We were on welfare, and but I remember her always, we were always very close to one another. I always felt love from her, if not from anybody else in the world, from her and my grandmother, but a lot from her. A big part of who I am, I've always loved creepy things, even from a young age. I've always liked really creepy stuff as a kid, like Beetlejuice.
So creepy.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Even Freddy Krueger, you know? But I've always loved the macabre and the dark and the creepy.
And there's something that happened to me when I was in school. Something very cruel. I never told anybody about it because it's so humiliating. And I don't know if I'll ever be ready to talk about it. I've never told anybody about it, not even my mother. And I think that's partly why I have so much hatred towards humanity, towards people.
Sociopath. I'm a diagnosed sociopath, high functioning, and I could see one. This was an amazing trailer. And what I say about Foodie, and I will continue to say this, my problem with Foodie is how easily she tries to manipulate people, but she is what has, because there are spectrums to mental health. And I say this as somebody who has both struggled and now strive with what I was diagnosed with, because I've made it a point to get help. I made it a point to keep my house and stuff stable. She refuses to do that, and then she wants pity and sympathy, but she's undiagnosed. She refuses to get help for her problems. Now, he ended this with more of a sympathetic lean, and I know there was another trailer with some music that played about the parents' relationship and how the child in the part of this is the one that feels like they're the reason why their dad left. As somebody who grew up in almost similar circumstances except the drinking and stuff, there was a lot more deeper stuff, but I'm not here to throw my family under the bus. You either continue on and you do better because you don't have to copy the path, or you do worse, or you copy the same path as your parents. You can't keep blaming the internet for the shit you've put on the internet, Chantal. But I'm going to get to Mr. Snowflake's brilliant, very brilliant reaction, because honestly speaking, I think he understands the subject better than she understands herself. And I would much rather react to his reaction than to keep giving that heifer the attention she swears we all crave for her. I'm going to be doing more of reacting to reactors that make me laugh and make me smile on Saturdays. And there will definitely be times where I call out the heifer because she's starved for attention. So like I know, she's going to do stupid stuff for that attention. That I need you to understand something. She doesn't want to be our focus anymore. She thinks reaction channels are evil and we're bad and we're this and that. So we're going to give her what she wants. Dwindling attention from those of us who are new and can really talk about anything we want on here. And we'll see how badly she continues to behave, because that's all she has at this point. Okay.
With over 50 years in the industry, our ranching spirit runs through each one of us.
Don't think I've mentioned money in the script.
I watched some of it.
Secret Whole Body Deodorant keeps you smelling 24/7 fresh everywhere.
Line shot? Okay. Hi, everybody. Right there. Bear with us.
And I'm going to start right out. I love Mr. Snowflake's work. I've seen several people talk about how good looking stuff he is. He's not a bad looking man. I honestly just never look at other content creators in that way for my own sanity's sake. Plus, I am in a happy relationship, so I'm old. I just don't look that way. But I did notice last night in FFG's chat, I know Mix the Heifer and some other people upset when I say how much I support FFG and other creators that are fun. I didn't get to sit in the underground today because I was busy this morning, but I will catch the replay of that. Honestly speaking, I look at people based on how entertaining they are now. I am way too old to be bothering people in that way. Chantal, though, as I listen to her react, it's already enough React-ception because I'm going to be reacting to him, reacting to her. So I didn't need her response because she was already giddy and giggly 5 minutes in because she thought he was flattering her. I'm telling you, homegirl is a textbook narcissist, undiagnosed, manic, undiagnosed. She has so many disorders that I can pinpoint as a diagnosed person. And I know she says, oh, you're not educated enough or accredited enough to say that. But I am diagnosed. And I understand what I have. And when I could see the signs in other people and point it out and they get ragey like you do, I know I hit the nail on the head, heifer.
Close enough, I'm on. Right. Where am I looking? That one. Hi, everybody. I haven't done this in ages. I haven't done a reaction in ages. I wasn't going to do one anytime soon.
He's getting ready to copy.
But then, oh, that camera. But then something happened. I was having a bath, and then my phone started blowing up. I got 2 text messages. Somebody called Foodie Beauty is kicked off about the opening credits thing I did for 15 minutes and 28 seconds.
Yeah, but she was unbothered.
So we're gonna listen. I've listened to the first however many minutes, but apparently she has a good old rant. Am I recording? Right. Hi everybody, if you're new to the channel, hiya.
He's already doing a hi everybody. And I can tell you as somebody who, I'm not always the best with setups like with the Fitbong and stuff, because I don't use my computer for that. I use my phone. I can understand when angles don't look right, when sound doesn't feel right, and it bothers me. I want to get a better setup eventually, but that takes time. It takes digging out equipment that's still in the garage right now because, you know, we just moved a couple of months back, and I'm just glad with the setup I got. I can do my Bonnet Chronicles and other stuff from my room right now. But I do understand what it's like to be at, like, I was in the car on the way home from some appointments when this dropped, and I was watching it on my phone, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is getting bigger and bigger. Just like Chantal's waistline. Bloop.
How do I screen record again?
Here we go.
So you'll be down there.
Hello.
Foodie, right.
Hey guys, hey. I know your girlfriends love to watch me. So what better way to say I love you this Valentine's Day than to get your special someone a personalized video from me on Cameo?
No, I can't do it. First off, I am not anti-Valentine's Day for those of you who love to celebrate it. To me, it's one of the most commercialized holidays out there, along with Mother's Day, which I, you know, as a mom, I appreciate when kiddo remembers Mother's Day, but it's not a big deal. I'm going to be his mother for life, so I don't need you buying cheap junk that I'm just going to stick in a box anyway. I am not a big fan of Valentine's Day for my own personal reasons, but I'm telling you right now, there would be no higher grounds for divorce for me than to get a cameo from this freaking heifer for a Valentine's Day gift. Not even as a prank, because sometimes the mister does like to joke around, but he knows that would be a quick fight for us. Don't buy a cameo from this heifer.
I was going to get Jimmy one of these. I still might, well, I might not now, since you've been ranting about me. Might not.
Get yours now and don't delay. Make Valentine's Day a special day.
Maybe I shouldn't drink water, because I'm going to spit it all over my laptop.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Hello. So, today I woke up and chose violence. This video.
She woke up and chose food, like she always does. The whole she woke up and chose violence, my toggle stays on violence most of the time, heifer. You wouldn't know violence if you could eat it. You run away from actual physical fights. You can't even get into actual verbal internet tussles. You have to use your cheerleading squad to attack people normally. But you're going to react to this man who has been nothing but respectful to you. And that is why, while he's going to be sweet, I can't wait to be spicy on this, because I don't like you, once again.
Video is going to be me addressing these dumb documentaries made about me. Well, they're not just about me. There are a lot made about other creators as well.
Worry about your own self, heifer. Worry about your own self. You do not need to defend Amberlynn or any of the others, Cyrax, because we know you used to be champion for him. And other very questionable people. We already know you're a predo magnet. You love your predators. It don't matter as long as they're handsome and say they love you without touching you or showing any chemistry, you big fraud. But the fact that you're mad at somebody who is covering you after all the time you've been on the internet lying, being a whole ass mess, and he is still trying to do it respectfully. He is bringing all the stuff that you have put on there, all the stuff he could find out and research together, and you're still nasty because that's all you have left, Cruella.
I'm doing this because...
For the record, Foodie, that's your real name. I've had a few videos made about me, and I ranted about none of them.
There's a chance.
And they hated me, so...
That's a point that I'm glad Mr. Snowflake made, because it's the reality of anybody that puts themselves online. People are going to talk shit about you, and you need to make the mental decision if what they say about you hits the nail on the head, or if you can just keep it pushing. There are always going to be people who have it out for you, whether you're a big creator, small creator, whether you just have something they think they can pick at. You have to be the one to mentally go, is this worth my time? Should this person's negativity rent space in my head? And if you can't do that, which Chantal obviously can't, you will just give them more mana to use against you. Dum dum. That's a game reference for some of you who aren't blurs or nerds like us.
That, just like the rest, picks on content creators they see as failures, I guess. And it's usually...
I don't even want to interrupt Mr. Snowflake because I know he's going to counter this. But I had already opened up with showing the first trailer that he had dropped, that wasn't the case. He highlights a lot of interesting people on YouTube, both messy and non-messy. She's just mad because new people are now being exposed to her lies. As somebody who still considers myself fairly new to girl world, I'm glad that I found reaction channels like French Fry Girl and various others before I sympathize with the hijab demon.
Either Amberlynn or I find it weird that a grown man...
I find it weird, two people who don't normally like each other but are so desperate for an alliance now because it is really them versus the internet now. They do not seem to understand that you are the ones that put your business out there for years and years and years. People have every right to content create based on what you've given us. And it ain't bullying fat chicks because there are plenty of us fat girls on the internet. So stop it. You need help. For real. This victim complex of yours isn't swaying most of us. It will never sway me because I'm not wired to care like that.
Chooses to obsess over the lives of the two said women, basically beating a dead...
I've made videos about dozens of people.
Exactly.
Horse, but whatever. Speaking of beating dead horses, figuratively, not literally, of course, this new quote-unquote docu-series...
It is a docu, quote-unquote. Condescend much? Maybe I'll put that in the script. And the Foodie Beauty could be very condescending. See how you like that?
Being made about me.
I'm only kidding. The script so far, I thought was really fair. It's got why am I looking there? That one. It's got really really fair. It's got nice bits about her. It'll cover all the horrible stuff, but I'm not gonna I don't know, kick off and call her an idiot. Maybe I will now. I don't know.
I'll do it for you. Not only is she an idiot, she is an undiagnosed narcissist. She's doing this for attention. She got it. Way to go, Foodie. But I love how he has set up that play button that he has in the background that you're probably never going to get. Because when they peruse everything you've done on here, whether you like it or not, YouTube can figure out who you are and what you are. All the alleged buying of followers and stuff as well. You're not going to get that button. Because if you do, that says really poorly about YouTube than it does about anything else. And like I said, as somebody who's in this just for fun, who doesn't plan to find this site any more lucrative than if I get some side change, great. If I don't, who cares? I do not understand the obsession with the play button that Foodie has, but I love that Mr. Snowflake has it set on his, just to little remind her that it takes actual work and effort and transformative content to keep people interested in what you do. And Chantal, your channel's dwindling whether you want to hear that shit or not.
Will not, by the way, spoiler, will not contain anything new that you haven't heard a million times before.
It might not. I don't know. I've watched as much as I can for episode 1. For stuff for episode 2 and 3. There might only be 3 or 4 episodes. I'll watch as much as I can. You might have heard it all before. a lot of people won't have, because a lot of people have said to us they know the name Foodie Beauty, but they don't know anything about her, about you, Foodie. So the docu-series, it'll be good for those people. But yeah.
And I don't mean to interrupt him while he's going, but I need people to understand that there are always new people to Girl World, new people to YouTube that watch Mr. Snowflake that will be interested in his take on the stuff that was put out there. What Chantal is afraid of is people finding out about her, but it doesn't take much. Bitch, you got kicked off TikTok because of your weird rants about geopolitical stuff that you really not invested in. You're just saying to keep your man happy. You are a documented animal harmer. There is so much about you that most people, even not really knowing you personally, can look and find out. And while they can initially sympathize with you as somebody who struggles with weight stuff and potential relationship issues, they will realize that, no, you're not a good person. And I think that's what you're more afraid of than anything.
Even if the people who are experts, they probably know more than me, and yeah, they'll probably have heard all this before. But hopefully it's presented in a way that's entertaining, interesting to watch.
Or also from these few other overly dramatic, embellished bullcrap documentaries.
She's going to bring up a documentary, the Canadian Horror Story. She says it's embellished. We found out from a close personal friend that she literally took stories of her life and made it into a Foodie Beauty story. She is a liar who lies with liabitus, and she cannot be trusted at anything. And I need you to remember that every time Chantal talks, every other word out her mouth is more than likely a lie. She hates it when we say it, but you can't run from the truth. She can't really run from anything, but you can't run from the truth, heifer.
Such as Canadian Horror Story, for example.
I watched that one. I watched that one a couple of days ago.
First off, a documentary is supposed to be educational. There's nothing educational.
It's educational in the fact that you lied about faking an attempt on your life. This is something that a lot of people, myself included, has struggled with when we were younger, when we didn't understand the world, where everything just felt heavy. And faking it is the worst, but also taking somebody else's story and turning it into yours. You are a complete and utter mess. A piece of large silly putty that molds yourself to whatever you think will get you the most attention and sympathy, and it's sickening. And all of that from Canadian Horror Story, once again, to try to trap somebody into loving you and getting your way. Like I said, Chantal, you're mad because the truth about everything you've put on the internet, the truth about you is about to be reflected back into your face. And you don't want that. You only want positivity and people who just want you to bees. They're going to bees you into a coffin.
About me. About these...
There is. There's loads in there that we're going to learn. Just wait. Just wait. Stop panicking. Just wait.
Videos, because you were only able to make conclusions based on limited information about my life. What is education?
Wait, you're trying to school people on education about your life when they are literally using what you put on the internet? Like, I get that you're trying to be a condescending cow at this point. You're trying to deflect from all the bad that you've put out into this world. But you talk about education, Miss I dropped out. When some of us, even with adversities, powered through and got our degrees. Don't try to talk about education. Finish yours before you talk, heifer.
About me eating and telling stories from my past, for example.
Well, now I know that you've pooped on somebody's walls after a threesome. That's educational.
It's gross. I don't think it's educational, but it's the stuff that she put out there. Honestly.
No, I'll let Foodie. Am I addressing Foodie or just people watching this?
Both. She watches.
I like calling her Foodie. Okay, I'll just talk to people, and we'll assume she's not watching.
That way.
No, for most of it. Well, not for most of it, but for a lot of it, I'm going to let her speak and tell her side. But anyway, we'll keep going.
My life is really not that interesting.
It's amazing! I just said poop on walls after 3.
I gotta stop him because the past Chantal was definitely more riveting than this fake wannabe pious nonsense. This person who swears that she's bathed in the light of Allah and that she's a good person till she gets mad and rants, till she needs to shovel food in her face, till she needs to not take care of Julia. Get her spade, heifer. The thing is, she is not interesting right now, but she has led a completely interesting fantasy life. She's still leading a fantasy life. It's just in a lull point.
Content to warrant 3 hours of
And actually, that part in the script is in the part where I talk about how much I like you, so might put it in the main part now.
an in-depth character study that these creators fabricate. Not only that,
It's not a fabrication when we use your own words, heifer. There's no need to fabricate. If you're mad that sometimes we speculate on certain things in your life because you want to be private, go off on that. But there's no fabrication. We just replay what you put out there and we react to it. He is doing a full docuseries based on the stuff that you have literally put on the internet. You just don't want to face the truth. And like everything in your life, once again, you can't outrun what you have put out there, heifer. You just have to sit back and deal with it and hope that this docuseries brings you the attention that you want.
They try to analyze me from what seems to be a psychological approach or, about
I haven't a clue about that stuff. I mean, I did do it in college and then dropped out after 3 months. But I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
No, I'm gonna say this because that wasn't at you, Mr. Snowflake. That was at reactors like myself and several others, which once again, Chicken Pickle did a really good assessment as well, and I would like you to watch her breakdown of this as well. You don't know who's on here, Chantal. You don't know what we've been through. You don't know our degrees. You don't know what we studied. Okay? So let me make this clear to you. We are allowed, because you refuse to get formal diagnosis, to speculate based on the character traits, what you put out there, and how you behave, what your mental issues are. Because you won't get formally diagnosed because you only go for limited contact with anybody that can help you mentally. An initial consultation cannot give you a full diagnosis. It takes months, if not years, to get it right. But you refuse because it's work. Once again, we know you're work allergic. And I love that Mr. Snowflake did try to study psychology. It is not an easy topic to study, and it's ever changing. With all the new stuff, with online and other disorders that are coming up, it is an ever-changing field of mental study. And Chantal, whether she likes it or not, because I know she hates the way I say her name, Chantal, you are a case study for somebody who is chronically online with undiagnosed mental health issues. You don't have to like it, heifer. It doesn't make it any less true.
disorder or other matters when they're not even qualified to do that.
I'm not, no, I'm
Being
not.
some edgelord living in your parents' basement, reading Kiwi Farms all day.
Before he even responds to that, because I don't do forums like that. And then once again, I don't care. It's not to knock people who do. Have your fun. That's what the internet was supposed to be about. But she's always blaming people who talk about her using Kiwi Farms. I know that there are plenty of YouTubers that they lurk and they're associated with it. You don't really need it anymore. She is putting more than enough of her nonsense on the internet to where you don't even have to go to alternative sources for it. But she cannot just direct her react to Mr. Snowflake. And call him a basement dweller when, as you can see from the setup there, that's not true. She likes to label all of us like that. Bitch, I've shown you my land, my house, my everything. So I don't know who you think you're attacking with that comment, but calling people edgelords, stop biting other people's words, because it doesn't sound right coming out of you. You never do anything yourself. You can't come up with anything yourself. But calling people edgelords for documenting you when we know you like to dirty delete, okay, whatever, heifer.
Right. First of all, I wish I lived in my parents' basement.
It's so easy to save money.
I'd save so much money. What else did you say? What's an edgelord?
about my eating disorder or other matters.
Hey, honey. You okay? Your haircut looks nice. You got it nice and even. Yay. All right. When you do your thing, I will be there for you. I'm just getting this reaction done because honestly, I like Mr. Snowflake. I'm looking forward to his documentary.
I'm always doing my thing.
Really? Kidding.
Trying to be funny.
I know you're cute. I know.
When they're not even qualified.
And I'm on your side about the eating disorder. Just wait. I was going to make a really nice little series about you. Now you might not be so nice to
that. Being some edgelord living in your parents' basement, reading Kiwi Farms all day.
I've never used Kiwi Farms. I don't know how. Oh no, I tried once when I was doing was it Cyrax? I want to say Cyrax. I think I started when it was doing reading Kiwi for Cyrax, and then 2 minutes later it got shut down. So I don't know how to use Kiwi Farms.
Does not make you a credible source of information.
I'm not the credible source of information you are. I'll let you speak.
You are not doctors, you are not therapists, and you are certainly not...
She's not talking to you. She's trying to talk to everybody that she stalks in these reaction channels, all 5K or 2 to 5K of us, that we sit and we talk and we surmise. Once again, you're going to tell us that out of 5K people, you know all of our backgrounds, our degrees, our fields of careers. Granted, I have put out there, I left my field, which was finance, to write. I enjoy writing. It is my passion. So, yeah, you got me. I am not a therapist. I am not a dietitian. I go to them. I listen. I get the help that I need. If you did so too, you could be more smug. But instead, you'd rather be a sow that whines on the internet about people paying attention to you, which is exactly what you want, heifer. Mr. Snowflake is being so nice, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to tone down a lot of the curse words in respect to him, but this heifer aggravates me. Like, legit aggravates me with her incessant need to prove that she's better than everybody when you literally had to buy a man in Kuwait to love you.
Experts on my life.
Not to interrupt. Yeah, he's going to also need the extra cam because I don't know if the one on his laptop is going to work after it busted. Okay.
I wanted to make sure I knew where the cords were. I might put all this back in the tote.
Okay.
To make it easier.
Yeah, because having it in a clear tote will know which wires are which. Sorry about that, y'all. Kiddo slammed into his laptop the other day, and we're just trying to figure out ways to save his work because he has it's okay. He has like serious stuff from his school on there that we don't want to lose. So we found some workarounds because it still powers up. And, you know, it is what it is. This is the reality of parenting. We want to make sure that he doesn't lose. Right now, he's on his backup Chromebook to get his main schoolwork done. But he has a lot of end projects that he does not want to lose so that he can graduate. So this is the stuff. This is the reality of parenting that Foodie will never understand. And she gets mad. Why can't you take them to a park? Yeah, that's what you do when they're toddlers, maybe. But when your kid is about to graduate high school, you make sure that they have all the tools at their disposal. I'm also thinking about wiping my older laptop that I still use. Till the wheels fall off my stuff. But because I multitask, I write, I game, I do these live streams. Last year, I bought myself a new expensive laptop that I plan to use until it falls apart. But the old laptop I was keeping because I didn't want to bog down this with all of my old work. What I'm thinking about doing is wiping it, letting kiddo have that because it already has a built-in camera and microphone. There are things that we can do for our household that this heifer doesn't even think about. And then she whines about being tired. But I want to get back to Mr. Snowflake because this is already over 34 minutes and his is already 33. I don't know if I'm going to get through all of it. But as you see, my house has to still keep going whether or not, you know, I'm doing stuff like this. And they are still mindful and respectful of what I want to do with this series, calling out the heifer.
So
I know, that's why I let you speak, just weird.
Dumb documentaries starts off with some dramatic cinematic intro. Imagine, like, how am I that interesting?
You know, it starts off with you explaining your upbringing. Right, I'll tell you my little secret structure. It's not really a secret. I want everybody to be on your side at first, so I'll let you tell your stories. Excuse me, fully had some water. I'll let you tell your story.
I'm so glad.
And the sad stuff about your dad leaving, that's not good. What else was there? You struggle with food since you were a kid. I think these things will get people on your side. But I might take all that out now.
Anyway, I guess I'm flattered.
I'm sorry.
The music is super
Maybe I shouldn't have read it, I should have waited.
because it sets the tone of sadness, hopelessness, super annoying. Anyway, I guess I'm flattered.
Are you or not?
So the music is super annoying
The music's amazing!
because it sets
Took 2 hours to find that.
the tone of sadness, hopelessness.
No, it does not, it's amazing. Hold on. Where's the music? People are loving it. Who was it? Liar Liar by... I want to say Joy Hannah, I think.
And then I'll probably order him.
The music's amazing, what are you talking about?
Laptops do heat up.
You don't mind listening again, everybody likes the song. Good pick, I was chuffed with that. Lots of fans have helped point me in the right direction. Thank you, everybody. It fits. Beauty, fruity beauty. I make documentaries, I can't dance, right.
I feel like Chantal's problem is she hyper focuses on the line "you made daddy leave" when any child who went through parents who divorced, separated, or any kind of broken home. I know I felt for the longest time that I was the reason my parents didn't stay together. And it did take actual therapy to make me realize that no, you're not in control of stuff like that. And it's not your fault. But the fact that she hyper fixated on that one line over everything else in that song, which is a really good song, it's definitely what the kids would say a bop. She has had so much unresolved issues that she refuses to get help for. She thinks just telling people on the internet is enough. And then when she gets accused of trauma dumping, which a lot of us do, she just gets defiant more. And I honestly think that to her is a hyper focus because she does have unresolved feelings of rejection from the person who helped create her. And she does need help with that. Honestly speaking, it's not a dig. I'm dead serious about that. She needs to really talk to a professional. And she probably needs to talk to a professional that will understand and not just give her a pill for this situation. Because talking it out, having somebody really listen to you and help you understand what you're responsible for and what you're not, what you can control and what you can't, it is game changing. And it's sad to me that she refuses to understand that.
Oh, where is it? No, where have you gone? Foodie! Oh, there you are.
Trauma, regret. Again, speculating that we as the subjects feel that way about our lives. Maybe some do, that's their problem.
No, it was to get everybody pumped up and excited.
I don't, and here's why.
Oh, go on.
She don't, but she's gonna go on for 15 minutes complaining about that line and Mr. Snowflake and everything else. You totally do feel resentment from how you were treated, and you have every right to feel resentment for being rejected. I don't think anybody would fault you for that. But what we fault you for is not getting help to see that that was not your fault and lashing out at the world and anybody who doesn't kiss your big ass whenever you put your shit online. And I'm sorry I'm dropping more cuss words, but it annoys me that we have your number, Foodie, whether you want to admit it or not. You just don't like that we have your number, and that's a you problem.
Here's why I don't care.
Oh, Mr. I don't care. I'll just do little reactions, talking to myself.
I don't.
All right, good news. Everything works on the laptop except the screen. We were able to hook the new screen up to it because we had an extra monitor for him, so he didn't lose any of his work. He could still even use the laptop's camera. So that was good news. I'm happy about that. I know you didn't come to watch me talk about my good news. Like I said in the last Calling Out the Heifer, I know that this recipe for success on YouTube is shit like train wrecks like Foodie. But I do like sharing good news, not just trauma, for some of you stalkers out there that like to accuse me of that.
And I'm just gonna have to interrupt you one more time, Em, and how you want to pay your bill.
We'll discuss that later, sir. It's your day off. You keep it up. You're going to spend more time in here than you want.
I always want to spend time.
But I'm just saying, I'm happy that we were able to resolve the issue because both of us, me and my dear sweetie, we love fixing problems. If there's a problem, we want to get it solved. We don't want it to languish and become worse. So stuff like getting kiddos high school PC jerry-rigged to work the way it needs to so that he doesn't lose all of his work, all of his final stuff, that's important to me. And I know that that kind of stuff is mundane to some of you, but this is our life, and I'm not ashamed of that. I want the best for my kid. I want the best for my man. I want the best for me. Our house is content. And I love that Chantal will never know what that feels like.
Can I get you anything?
Nope, I'm good, babe.
Okay, I'm out.
All right. I'll be making lunch in about 30 minutes. I don't have much longer with this.
Don't, and here's why.
My mum's basement.
And here's why I don't care if people cancel me. I
don't want to cancel you. I don't want to cancel you at all.
Make 4-hour documentaries about me.
It's going to be 6 hours.
Because I know I'm human. I know I'm flawed. Show me what.
Good, that's why people are going to be on your side.
No, not going to be on her side. It isn't about being flawed. There isn't anybody over the age of 40, I'm going to say even 30 sometimes, that hasn't stepped in it, hasn't done shit that we might regret. I'm lucky as a Gen X, a lot of my fuck-ups were not documented. We didn't have a YouTube back then. We really didn't have ways to record our badder sides, thank goodness. And even in the earliest stages of the internet, I was too busy having a career, taking care of my home, then becoming a mom. When YouTube first launched, I was busy having a baby. 2005 was a busy year for me. I didn't get with YouTube initially until about 2016 when I started uploading on my first channel, family stuff. Then I gave that to Kiddo because he liked watching weird shit on there. And I was just like, I don't want my name on that, but whatever. And it was a way for me to keep track. Honestly speaking, a lot of the stuff that Chantal has put on for the last few years has been more than enough to constantly have both critiques, both breakdowns, analysis. She doesn't like it because it's not patting her on the head or giving a slap on the ass and saying, you go girl. And that's your fault, not ours. We don't have to like you, Chantal, and you don't have to like us. It's a big world, and you have to get used to critique.
Side, I always say it, Rocky's flawed, and we all get behind him.
One person with a perfect life or past, and I'll shut up.
I know.
Just one.
She wouldn't shut up. She wouldn't shut up because she needs attention. We all understand that, right? She goes, just show me one person who has a perfect life. It's not about a perfect life, heifer. It's about not minding other people's business that deeply. It's about not inserting that because your life is flawed, everybody's life is exactly the same as yours, because a lot of your life is made up. And this is going to probably expose a lot of new people to the fact that you fabricate a lot of stuff. Anthony, anyone? The boyfriend that she made up in high school that got pretty much exposed really quickly to not even be a real person? And she could say, oh, I just used a fake name. No, you didn't. You lie a lot about your past. You lie a lot about scenarios. I said it last night in another amazing streamer, Hannibal's chat. She wanted the crack demon saga to be like the burn in bed, where she's just this victim. And it was a 3-week booty call. He claimed you for 1 week of that 3 weeks to get an alibi for a very serious sexual allegation. And you acted like you were in a really serious DV situation. Nobody wants to use your alleged abuse against you, but to act like you weren't the narcissist trying to financially control somebody who was just really nastier than you and more physically violent than you, he took advantage of you. I will give you that. He probably roughed you up during the sex that you were craving. I'll give you that. And then he dumped you for a visa. I will give you that. That probably broke the little hollow heart that you have. But the fact is, when you had a good man, he didn't pay enough attention to you. You cheated on him. You tried to make assumptions that people thought that he needed you for papers, which was already blown out the water, was already corrected whenever anybody brought that. I will say you have a Muslim and brown and black skin fetish, and I will not stop saying that, heifer, even though you tried to make a dig about not liking dark meat. The way you treated Pete's was god awful. And I thought about doing like a little Valentine's Day series of your lovers, but I'm just not interested anymore. You have manipulated and emotionally controlled that man for years. You use him, you toss him away. You bring him back, you toss him away. And it's sickening watching you. And I'm not defending Pete because, yeah, I've heard and seen some of the things he has put on the internet himself. I'm not a fan, but I don't go after him because I don't need to. The Canadian crack demon was probably the only relationship you respected because you thought you could financially control somebody that gave all the check marks for what you wanted in your fetish. And when that didn't happen, you were a miserable, allegedly drunken blob, just whining and raging and stalking that awful man. Then you found the poop guy. And you swear that you don't bring up, and I know it is not easy to not bring up stuff in your past, especially when you're trying to compare it to the contentment you allegedly have now, but you're not content because you're always bringing up that Canadian crack demon. I will not use his name. He's like Beetlejuice. You don't want to summon that evil into your channel. But you got to realize that you don't let go of anything. You remember people stealing food from you in elementary school, all the alleged shit that went on in your group home. You talk about a vendetta against a weed shop employee that went to high school with you that they probably don't even remember. You're the one that can't let go of your past, Chantal, and you're just mad that a lot of us can point this out. Now, I'm going to let this go for a few more minutes. I don't want this to go over an hour, y'all. I'm sorry that it got so long. But like I said, home matters matter more to me than this heifer. It's just fun for me to call out her stuff. And as you can see from my little Nixie stuff, probably right up top here, I'm chaotic neutral. And I'm always going to be chaotic neutral. I go where I want to go. And I'm not going to be told what to do.
I put it in the script anyway.
God made obstacles for us as tests. Life is personal and each individual has their own tailored path. So unless, and this is key, unless you are living in that person's shoes or life.
No, we're done. I'm going to end it with this rant because these heifers are always invoking God, whether it's her, whether it's that lady I seen on Hannibal's stream last night. Leave God out of your business, heifer. Every bit of negative you put into this world is coming back. That's why you're alone. You're doing 4 a.m. streams. 4 a.m. you should be fucking asleep. And if your partner was there, they would be inconvenienced by your 4 a.m. streams. There's a reason why I do a lot of my stuff, whether it's reacts at an early time, whether he's in his office normally doing his work, or I'm just done with my routine and stuff, or at evenings on Friday nights where I can do my Bonnet Chronicles uninterrupted, or at the 4 p.m. when kiddos finally out of school and I can record and stuff. There is a reason why so many of us set times for what we do content-wise. We can't all be impulsive and irresponsible like you are. And the fact of the matter is, you keep invoking God in your stuff, but God helps those who help themselves. And you're not willing to help yourself. You're not willing to do the work. You're not willing to care beyond talking about yourself and making yourself the perpetual victim. I tell you all the time, whether it's in FitBang or just calling out the heifer series, I'm tired of seeing you struggle. I want you to survive and strive. But right now, if you're going to be determined to continue to struggle for pity and trauma views, then it's on you what happens to you, heifer. It is no deity's fault, the path you decided to waddle down. Now I'm going to wrap this up, y'all. Get ready to go make the family lunch. Enjoy the day off that my husband has before he goes back to a freaking 5-day on, being yelled at by people for shit that's not his fault. It is what it is. And I also got to get back to writing. There's a lot that I want to get done today, especially now that I'm in the clear health wise. So far, so good, and I'm going to keep it that way. I am just grateful to everybody who watches these. I'm grateful to everybody who understands my mentality and doesn't try to pull me or push me into any stupid directions. But I really enjoyed Mr. Snowflake, so I would watch the rest of this response if I were you, because it was funny, it was witty, it had me chuckling in the car yesterday on the way back home. And there are plenty of reactors that I watch that I think you can pretty much piece by piece formulate how fake this heifer is. But I'm going to wrap this up. Go take care of house stuff. Thank you all for watching, and I will be back soon.